Okay. Wow. Welcome back, everybody. Yeah, it's that time again. Happy Sunday to everyone. Another week, another time. Yeah, just to get onto it, like, showing up every day and seeing where that leads us. I hope everybody had a good time at church today. If you're a Christian, if you went to church, how was your service? I hope everyone had something good to hold on to for the week, despite all of the problems, all of the current situations happening all around the country. Hopefully things would, go on well. Before I get into it, the G20 summit is concluded, and it didn't really trend as much because I went to Twitter or X, depending on whichever word you call it, and I didn't see so much with respect to that. Obviously, Trump missed the G20 summit. And but before I go into the G20 summit, I just want to play some snippet and things that happened there just to catch up with what is happening around the world. You have to know where the direction of the world is going so that you can also align yourself and do plan your life accordingly. Not that there's a direct impact at times, but also the indirect impact could also be meaningful and also important for us to acknowledge. But before I do that, I saw that Tinubu has vowed to eliminate terrorists and bandits in the north. Yeah. And I was looking for the president's speech addressing the nation with respect to that. Oh, did he actually address the nation and vow to eliminate that? I said, Tinubu promises to address, to eliminate banditry and terrorism and all that. Unfortunately, it wasn't a speech. I searched and searched and searched. All I was seeing was his October 1 address. And I'm like, what is happening? Where's the speech? Then I noticed that it was actually a forum that was held in the north. And then the speaker, Tajuddin Abbas, was the one delivering the message that Tinubu plans to eliminate terrorism. Again, I'm saying for a time like this, we need a presidential speech, him telling us, at least lifting the hope of the nation up, telling the country this is what it plans to do with respect to the headwinds, with respect to what has been happening with terrorism. But that's not what we got. This is what we got. Anyway, I'm going to play it, given that this is what we've got.
It's in Nigeria, especially the northern region, stressing that his administration is confronting the challenges with urgency and unwavering resolve.
Okay. The layers and sophistication of the security challenges we inherited are daunting, but what should inspire confidence in this urgency with which my administration is pursuing solutions. We are not only determined to ensure that terrorists and bandits groups tormenting the north are eliminated, we are equally committed to reversing the region's economic decline. I have unwavering optimism in the North Province, and I eagerly anticipate the day when the first tankers of crude oil from Kolmani and other northern oil fields roll out. We are accelerating critical roads, rail and river transport projects across the region. Most notably, the transformative Abuja-Kaduna Kanu superhighway, which we intend to commission in Kanu in the coming months.
Former head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, who served as the chairman of the occasion, delivered a stern reminder that peace remains the North's most precious but endangered asset, It was represented by the former Vice President Nnamdi Sambo.
Without unity, we fracture. Without peace, we stagnate. And without harmony, we fail to realize our immense God-given potentials.
ACF Board of Trustees Chairman.
Okay.
To dialogue. We must not.
Iowa Council Forum, Board of Trustees. These are the people that determine how the North moves. The Iowa Consultative Forum. Most of the time, they tend to speak with one voice. I'm also just waiting to see how supportive they are with the president's plan to eliminate, based on what he has promised to do, to eliminate terrorism in the North. Let me hear what he has to say. So Bashar Dal-Atu is the chairman of the ACF Board of Trustees.
Never waver in our belief in the promise of Nigeria.
Leaders from Northern extraction express optimism that
we'll see what happens.
29, 2023.
Okay.
Our administration has embraced a leadership approach rooted in inclusion, transparency, reconciliation, and citizen participation. These principles are rebuilding trust and deepening engagements across communities.
And we're even lucky. The president of this country is somebody who listens to us.
Okay.
We have never taken anything to do with the North to him in terms of finding solution to our problem that he has not listened and he has not assisted.
Okay.
As the gathering closed, leaders agreed that the North's future hinges on unity, decisive security action, and sustained investment. The ACF, they declared, must continue as the intellectual engine driving the region toward peace and stability. Nisi Gabriel, Arise News, Kaduna.
Okay, so that's it. I mean, hopefully something good comes out of that. But I'm still expecting the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to address the nation, at least in a way, to give us something to give us something to hold on to, given what has happened. See your brothers Nigeria glued together by British criminals. Okay. Okay, we gotta move on. That's that about that. With respect to the North, this is where they had distinguished guests from various parts of Nigeria attended the 25th anniversary celebration of the ACF held at the Umaru Musa Yar'Adua Conference Hall, Murtala Square, Kaduna. What do you think will be the key issue on the agenda? I think basically it's just, the future of the North, as it were. These are all the dignitaries. Oh, this is the Emir, the Oni of Ife, right? Also in attendance. We'll see what happens. There's the Sultan of Sokoto, right? In attendance. Some snippets from the 25th anniversary of the ACF. So you take stock for the past 25 years. How was the North in the last 25 years? How is it today? Has there been any growth? What has happened to poverty? What has happened to, religious freedom? What has happened to security? Those are the questions that I think, should happen. Former head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, and other northern leaders on Saturday called for a renewed unity and stronger action against insecurity as the ACF marks its 25th stop. Enough of this calling for something. We want to see results. We want to see results coming out from the North. There should be an agenda that the North should all actually equal to Dubai. At least that's the minimum, as far as I'm concerned. But right now, that's not what we're getting from the North. Sheikh Ahmed Abubakar Gumi has called on the Arewa Consultative Forum to channel all donation towards educating the northern population. ACF with 9 billion naira. Please get every Amajiri a seat in school as a priority. Don't forget the pastoralist children also. Let us secure the children's future. Okay, we'll see. We'll see how that works. The North must defend its interests in any new constitution amendment. Oh, sorry, this is very stale news. Sorry about that. ACF is the North intellectual engine room. Yeah, if you have an intellectual engine room, we should see a good result as it impacts the life of every northerner, okay, living in that region. And it has to be positive impactation, right? Yeah, so that's that with the ACF stuff. ACF is Northern Intellectual Engine Room. I'm not going to read that. Atiku also has called on the ACF to return to its founding mission of uniting the North and driving a development-focused agenda that reflects the vision of late Ahmadu Bello. Okay, we'll see what happens. 25th anniversary. ACF has 25th, Northern, the 6th stronger unity. So everything is about unity and what? And tackling insurgency. And again, I'm just surprised that the unity they're talking about, it really is just basically Northern unity. I thought it should be the unity across the country, making sure the country moves forward. Or possibly maybe they imply that if they are strong from a Northern point of view, then the whole country will also be stronger. Possibly that's it. I just don't want to be mean and cynical here. Hopefully we'll see what happens. Yeah, okay. So that's that about that. I'm gonna move on. The president has also addressed the North there. I don't want to repeat myself. I attended the 25th. This is Barao I. Jibri, Deputy President of the Senate, Senator Barao I. Jibrin, CFR. Okay, he also attended. I attended the 25th anniversary celebration of the ACF at the, at the hall in Kaduna. I reflect on the challenges facing our region. The problem is, and what I've always gotten from the North anytime they meet is always about challenges. The North itself as a bloc can do a lot more. They can do a lot more. They can actually industrialize the North. Just the governors alone coming together. They can build a strong engine and bring some stability to that region. That the federal government will just, help with funding and the likes. They can do a lot. But ever since it boils down to corruption and lack of the will to do stuff, we'll see what happens. Who is this? Oh, Atiku spoke. Keynote speech at the ACF forum. Let me see what he has to say.
Now, I believe we are all gathered here today to also focus about the future of the North. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as I begin to conclude, I need to raise another important issue.
Okay.
The future of the North and its people. What kind of future do we wish to leave behind? Considering the world of the 21st century, where knowledge is the greatest capital, how will the North survive without quality and purposeful education? Looking at our demographics, what is our vision of the future? By United Nations projections, Nigeria will be 300 million in 2030 and well over 400 million in 2050, which will make it the third most populated country after India and China. How do we feed this population?
What could help make it retire, I beg.
If today we are battling with growing deficits, how do we educate this population and provide health care? How do we provide jobs for the teeming youth in their hundreds of millions? These are the critical questions we need to address, for these are the big issues for every community around the world today.
Atiku's plan is to contest one more time when it comes to 2027. And that was why I left the PDP to form the ADC. I don't know. By my own evaluation, they still have a long way to go, especially building that party, top down. And we'll see what happens. But again, he's a major player in the North. So, yeah.
We have to face them and deal with them or resign to the consequences. And God forbid. The competitive environment of the 21st century will not accept complacency.
Okay.
It will not accept absentee leadership. And worst of all, it will not accept a leadership without vision or direction. And I believe Nigerians will not go, especially the North.
My question to Atiku was, he was the vice president for 8 years, right? What did he do? What can you say this is a spectacular thing he did to further, all of this point that he has listed now with respect to the North? The PDP, for the most part, have been in charge of the North. Then now you have more APC governors. What have they done? How have they thought behind, just the normal stuff to be able to push the North to be one of these developed, region in the country? I don't know. It's
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have to brace up. We don't have much time.
Yeah, you run out of time, yeah?
In my closing appeal, this short speech, I would like to appeal to our sense of responsibility as Northern leaders to reconsider our priorities and rise up to the numerous challenges facing the North. We have seen how the North remembers its true leaders like Sir Ahmadu Bello, gone for a long time but still remembered every day. Let's ask ourselves, how would we like to be remembered after we have gone? As people who made the necessary sacrifices for the rest of us, or as people who seized the opportunities and only buttered their bread? If there is any time for the North to unite, it is now and it is today, not tomorrow. And it is my ardent hope that we should resist those trying to divide us along ethnic and religious lines and rise above these differences. Look at the challenges on the horizon and come together as the one people we have always been. May God guide us aright as we endeavor to deliver on our responsibilities. I thank you all for listening, and I thank the leadership, particularly some of the observations I made at this anniversary celebration. God bless.
The sound is, I don't understand why we cannot even have a very good sound system in all of this. I mean, you know that when you're having a conference, there's going to be a lot of background noise and all that. But the sound system is just always a problem that it makes it difficult to cover the point. So it's what it is.
Journey so far.
Allah.
It is my singular honor and privilege to present the book to you. It is a historical document.
Okay.
Particularly, some of the observations I made, I believe, are contained in this book. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay. If you ask what Atiku did in 8 years, I will tell you Atiku saved Nigeria from Obasanjo's dictatorship. I agree. I knew all those things between Atiku and Tinubu, how he made sure that, Lagos did not fall to the APC and all of those, the Totem agenda and all of those. Yeah, and then what else again? Ensuring, when they voted for the third party stuff. I also learned that, during the first term, that he actually almost kicked Obasanjo out after his first term. But again, one way or the other, he lost that opportunity and now he's still fighting to become the president. Now, it's a contribution, but we're also not to forget that a lot of all those corruption allegations also against him. You cannot just deny that. He also, I would say, he also has that bad part to him. But again, from Obasanjo to Miyetel, I want Nigeria or that's something else. Okay, I'm going to move on. He has a book, and then he has all these things. Wow, is this not Dangote? This is Dangote, right? It is what it is, right? Okay, it is what it is. I'm gonna move on to that. I hope you guys are aware, just on a side note, just wanted to mention that. So now going forward, X, formerly Twitter, is going to be putting your location on your tweet. So whenever you tweet now, or whenever whoever is tackling you on Twitter, remember, you can actually go and see where they're actually tweeting from. And we can see their source. And again, just try to, one way or the other, examine maybe if they have any agenda, or possibly they're just telling you to go destroy something while they're not in that same location. So again, this is it. By the way, this individual is a male residing in the USA. For a man to use the handle First Lady ship should tell you everything you need to know. Now, I don't know about that. That's alleged, right? Allegedly, this person, I thought this person was actually a female, but it is what it is. So now, if you just click on the person's handle, you can see the username. Then you can now see this account is based in United States. Now, what I don't understand is this connected via United States App Store, because there were a lot of people that are based in Nigeria, but when you look at that connected, you see connected via Canada. I'm still going to look into that to know what really happened. So this is what I'm talking about. You would see the name, you see the date, you see the account where it's based in, where the person is tweeting from, and then the App Store where it was, possibly maybe where it was downloaded. So possibly you were in Canada at some point, you downloaded it in Canada, and now you're tweeting from Nigeria. I don't know how it's going to display, where the account is based. Another thing is that I don't know if you use a VPN, okay, if it's going to be showing you, where your VPN is actually, linked to. I don't still know, but this is a new feature that Elon Musk is trying to do. Nigeria, stop your criminal ways. Yeah, I mean, it's for the help of everybody. I'm going to move on. So there was a G20 summit that happened, okay, just this week. And it's one of those things. Trump was visibly absent. He's angry with South Africa due to one reason or the other. He also accused South Africa of killing the white Africans there. But this was a question posed to the South African president, Ramaphosa, asking him about Trump's absence at the G20 meeting. We'll start with that one and just look at some highlights of what happened in South Africa just this week.
Which we have problems, because the only way to solve problems is to talk about it. Yes.
I can add to what Antonio just said. I mean, the initial wake-up call for the European Union to diversify and to look for reliable partners, trusted partners, was when we had the energy crisis, and we all of a sudden realized our over-dependencies of fossil fuels from Russia, and Russia cut from one day to the next the supply of energy. You all witnessed the severe energy crisis we went through. Yep. And this was the initial trigger for us to understand you need to diversify. That's important, to have a network of suppliers, and you need trusted and reliable suppliers.
So they realized, I mean, this doesn't make sense. She said they realized that they were over-dependent on Russia, and then they had the Ukraine and Russia war. And then, the war, it's another story I don't want to get into. But then they discovered during the war that Russia just cut the stuff off almost immediately during the war and all that as a retaliation for Europe backing, Ukraine. And I'm like, somebody warned about this so many years ago. Trump told them that it doesn't make sense. Germany gets almost all of its energy supply from Russia. And then you want the United States to keep, putting sanctions on Russia. And it's like, why are you trading with Russia and you claim that Russia is your enemy? Why don't you want to, kind of diversify away from Russia? At least don't have most of your major supplies from Russia. Again, so now that she's saying this, I'm just wondering what changed. It was the war, but that was also a known truth.
They say you always meet twice in life, so it's also so that on both sides there needs to be trust. And then you can build good things, as we just are showcasing here. For us, it's very important. We are very committed to the WTO. Of course, there needs to be a reform of the WTO, but to have a rules-based trade worldwide is also important. And of course, now we are intensively negotiating with many countries and regions of the world different free trade agreements. You know that we finalized with Mexico, Mercosur, and Switzerland.
I'm going to move on.
We are bound one single supplier.
So this is the EU president, Ursula, right? What's her name? I think that's her name, right?
Network of trusted partnerships all over the world.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Last question, Tembele.
Good evening. My name is Tembele with Bloomberg News. It seemed like you went from struggling to pull together an EU-South Africa summit for many years to having 2 in 1 year, and it's been a very turbulent period, I think, globally, politically speaking. Is there something to read into the frequency of these engagements all of a sudden? Is there perhaps a political signal that you're trying to send by doubling down, as the President said, on these ties? And then President Ramaphosa, you said that the US request comes at the 11th hour, and you would have to look at the practicalities of accepting that request. Does that mean that there's an opportunity or perhaps a possibility where it would not be practical to accept their request to be readmitted, as it were, to the G20 summit? Thank you.
Well, the United States is a member of the G20. They are the original member of the G20, so they have the right to be here. And all we will be seeking to do is to look at the various practicalities, logistical and otherwise, for them to participate. They have a seat at the round table, as you will see on Saturday. There is a seat for the United States.
But they're not going to use it.
When President Trump said they are not coming, that seat still remained. It was empty for a while, but it will hopefully be occupied, but we want to deal with all those practicalities. You should know that because it's a gathering of G20 leaders, there is a lot of logistics that go into getting the leaders to come to the venue and to participate, and how they will speak, their speaking order and all that. So those are matters that had not been pre-planned because they pulled out. So we need to understand precisely how all that will pan out. So we're clear. The United States has a right to participate in the G20, and much as they notify us at the 11th hour, we still need to engage with them to understand fully what their participation at the 11th hour means and how it will manifest itself. Thank you.
Fair enough, yeah. Donald Trump did not attend the 2025 G20 summit in Johannesburg, South Africa. L22 to 23 November, and extended the boycott to all U.S. officials. So nobody from the United States is attended. I mean, I don't know if this makes sense, but again, I mean, well, it's Trump, right? Citing alleged human rights abuses against South Africans' white Afrikaner minority. Specifically, Trump claimed on Truth Social that Afrikaners are being killed and slaughtered, and their land and farms are being illegally confiscated, framing this as a genocide. Oh, that's another one. We Nigerians were dealing with, the stuff, and a total disgrace. Those are the two words that he has used for Nigerians in the past few weeks that disqualifies South Africa from hosting the event. This assertion echoes discredited narrative Trump has promoted since at least May 2025, when he confronted the South African president with misleading videos during a White House meeting, despite Ramaphosa's rebuttal and fact checks showing no evidence of systematic prosecution or genocide. I will leave you to make up your mind on what the fact of the cases are. I mean, there were certain videos that were true, but then there was one video that was wrong that, the news now called that, oh, this is a wrong video from another country. And again, I didn't like the way he treated the South African president when he visited the White House. But again, I think Africa as a continent, they need to work on their leadership. I mean, we look at a lot of these countries, you have like very, very old leaders, and it's kind of a disgrace. And again, we need, good leadership, for most of these countries in the African continent. I'm not an expert when it comes to African politics. I will say that, but at least G20 is not just Africa, right? You have the G20 for most of the top 20 countries, according to their own benchmark. Now, details of the boycott, announcement and escalation. Trump initially planned to skip personally, but was to send Vice President J.D. Vance. On November 7, 2025, he announced a full U.S. pullout, affecting the summit discussion on global finance, climate, and development. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has already boycotted an earlier G20 foreign ministers meeting in February 2025 over similar concerns. U.S. limited presence. In a last-minute concession, the White House sent a low-level embassy officials. So just send one boy. I guess that guy possibly was just in South Africa. Maybe was doing something in South Africa. So, okay, let me just drive in. I don't know. Likely, if I even this case is not even clear, likely acting ambassador is even an acting ambassador. So he doesn't even have the full ambassadorial position, Mark D. Dillon, solely for the ceremonial handover of the G20. So the G20 is actually going to the United States. What an irony. So he couldn't hand over to the president of the United States, which should be the normal procedure or the normal procedural stuff. So he was just sent in there last minute. Oh, they're going to hand over to the US to be in charge, of the G20 for 2026. And we all know that US also is the one that is cheering on the 2026 World Cup and all of those. South African response, President Ramaphosa dismissed the claim as baseless and proceeded with the summit, emphasizing Africans' priority like inequality and sustainability. His spokesperson noted that the declaration was finalized without U.S. input, calling it non-negotiable. Tensions peaked when Ramaphosa quipped about handling the gavel to an empty chair, prompting the White House backlash of accusing him of running his mouth. This is what our global leaders are doing right now. Going band for band, arguing, and all of those. Broader context, the boycott aligns with Trump's American-first foreign policies, prioritizing refugees admission from Afrikaners and criticizing multilateral forum he viewed as inefficient. So again, there's been this argument that when Trump accused South Africa of genocide for the white minority in South Africa, that he actually opened the door to them to come in. And people are like, okay, shouldn't he open the door for Nigerians too? If he's actually, serious about this claim of a Christian genocide, I'm just saying. It drew solidarity absences from allies. So apart from US not attending, you had other people too not attending. So Argentina, Javier Milei is more like the Trump of Argentina, sent his foreign minister instead. And there was a partial skips from Mexico, Russia and China. Oh, I thought the China president was there. Anyway, other notable non-attendees includes Japan, Shigeru Ishiba. This new Japan prime minister, okay, Alan is also like a Trump-like individual, and she's a female, right? Indonesia, Prabowo Subianto, and Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman. Mohammed bin Salman was in the White House this last week, and then we saw that. So again, this was what happened. Let me see where this guy handed over the gavel to. Let me see this. He did hand it over the gavel.
Elon, if you don't mind,
gents. Not this one. Let me see. Okay, not this one. Sorry about that. G20 Summit, South Africa says President Trump will not attend. I think we've seen this one. Okay, so this was the president of France at the G20 meeting. Let me see.
Then I can see the floor after demonstration. More
Leaders of the G20 member states.
Sorry about that.
And
I just want to
invited
see,
countries.
This is his full
Secretary
speech.
General of the United Nations, heads of international organizations, and ministers and distinguished guests,
Hi,
and everyone
welcome
else
to the show, everyone.
who has played a role in making this G20 get to where it is. I wish to extend my deepest gratitude and also the gratitude of all South Africans for the steadfast support that you have all shown throughout South Africa's G20 presidency.
Okay.
Your commitment has been vital in reaffirming the G20 as the premier forum for international economic cooperation, and also ensuring that it continues to drive progress on our most important challenges. We have met this year, in fact, the entire year. Meetings have taken place in our own country and elsewhere in the world, including at the United Nations, supporting the presidency of South Africa of the G20. And we've met in the face of significant challenges and demonstrated our ability to come together, even in the times of great difficulty, to pursue a better world. South Africa's presidency marks the first time, as we have said, that the G20 has been hosted and held on African soil. We are truly honored and humbled by that, not only as South Africans, but as Africans as a whole. Recognizing the importance of this milestone, we have sought to place Africa's growth and development interests at the heart of the G20's agenda.
Yeah.
The greatest opportunity for prosperity in the 21st century lies in Africa. Harnessing that opportunity will require a rather strong partnership between Africa and the G20, and indeed between Africa and the rest of the world.
Hi, welcome to the show.
Recognizing our interconnectedness as a global community of nations, we have called for an end to conflicts and wars around the globe, and for a just and comprehensive and lasting peace. This summit has taken place at a crucial time as calls around the world grow louder for progress on the imperatives of our time: to end poverty in all its forms and ramifications, to reduce inequality within and amongst countries, and to take urgent action to combat climate change. This year, we have recognized the growing debt burden that is faced by many developing economy countries as a major obstacle to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations. The G20 has pledged to extend support to low and middle income countries as they confront debt vulnerabilities. Together, we must create a virtuous cycle of reduced debt, higher public investment, and more rapid and inclusive economic growth. When we become more successful, all of us, then the whole world becomes successful. When we began our presidency, we pledged to mobilize the G20 to strengthen disaster resilience and response. Climate-induced natural disasters spare no country. Disasters know no borders. But their toll is heaviest on those without the means to recover and to rebuild. We therefore called on G20 leaders to urge the global community to scale up post-disaster reconstruction. In this regard, South Africa introduced the high-level voluntary principles for investing in disaster risk reduction and encouraged international collaboration to strengthen investment in preventing and responding to disasters. We've made progress in mobilizing finance for a just energy transition. Climate change touches every nation, but it impacts on everyone unevenly. That is why we have together pledged to increase the quality and the quantity of climate finance to developing economies, to strengthen multilateral development banks, to support country platforms like the Just Energy Transition Partnership, and to unlock private capital. We reaffirmed our dedication to energy security, affordability and universal access, and the importance of supporting developing economies in their transition to low carbon emissions. We recognize the need for deep, rapid, and sustained reductions in greenhouse gas emissions and the need to substantially scale up investment and climate finance from all sources. During this summit, we reaffirmed our support for the G20 Critical Minerals Framework, a cooperative blueprint to ensure that critical minerals resources drive prosperity and sustainable development across the globe. Our presidency coincided with the end of the first cycle of the G20 presidencies. Following the mandate given to our presidency at the 2024 Rio de Janeiro summit, we undertook the G20 at 20 review, drawing on the diverse perspectives of participating members and guest countries as well. It is our hope that the recommendation...
I mean, we've been hearing all this all the while. Yeah, I agree with you. It's been the same thing. At some point, you can actually put all of these speeches all about, inequality, climate change, help Africa and all that. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I might just have to skip forward to the point where he handed over to an absent United States of America.
And in executing our differences, together, we must accelerate progress towards the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations and the Pact for the Future. We have laid the foundation.
And the sustainable stuff he's talking about is getting off fossil fuel, which is going to be a disaster to Nigeria because that's what we still depend upon. We've not been able to diversify our economy, as it were. So again, most of these things, there's been a lot of criticism of the UN goals. And I'll just leave it at that. Because if you do that, then it's going to create more havoc to even countries. But again, that's a new reality that we face.
Foundation of solidarity. Now we must build the walls of justice and the roof of prosperity. Let us move forward together, demonstrating to the world that we do have the capacity to confront and overcome the world's challenges through partnerships across society and by remembering our common humanity. We can create a more secure, a more just, and a more prosperous world. And together, we can ensure that no one is left behind. I now say that this gavel,
so ideally Trump or whoever,
gavel of this G20 summit,
accepting it, right,
formally closes this summit and now moves on to the next president of the G20, which is the United States, where we shall see each other again next year. The summit is therefore closed.
Okay, so that's it. It's closed for this year. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But that's that about that. Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can see anything Trump actually tweeted. but I'm not seeing anything from Ms. Andrew right now on that. Let me see if I can get that for you. Oh, they want me to sign in to get into the street social. I'm not gonna sign in. Yeah, again, that's that about that. I'm gonna move on. What we're seeing right now is just the world aligning from one point or the other, and we'll see what happens with the power play. That's that about that. Yeah. I hope Nigeria president is here listening. I don't know if he's interested in that. There's a lot of problem at home. A lot of problem at home, and it's just painful. Nigeria is exhausting. I don't know if I want to see this BBC investigation. So I saw this stuff and I said I want to look at it, as exposed how wicked cheated Peter Obi. This is gonna be interesting. Tinubu is now afraid and desperate. Really? I may. Okay, let me listen to this.
Fellow dear brothers and sisters, fellow Nigerians, it's an honor to be in your presence to speak about our country and speak about our collective shareholding as regards the survival of this country. I speak differently, and people know that I'm a little bit hard. My brother was over hard. Why I want to acknowledge the people sitting up here and every other participant that is a delegate here today. What I want to sincerely say is that we're in a very difficult times.
Yeah, we know.
And Nigeria is passing through very challenging period. People could say it's not affecting them. You could live in the southwest and it's not close to you. You could be living in south and you say it's very far off. And then you are in southeast and you say it's very far off. When program started in Brunei, I was sitting with some of my friends who were military officers, and I was telling them, I don't believe a Nigerian man can put a bomb on himself and blow himself up, because we know the way we saw life then, that it was very interesting. Nigerians like to enjoy what is available that God has created with nature.
Okay.
But it was not too long from when I said that we started discovering that Nigerians were willing to die, putting bomb on themselves.
Wow.
For us to save this country, it must be built on certain foundation. Nothing you can do to seek for transparency, to seek for accountability, that if you are not responsible or be part of a people that usher in those government can only be accountable. Government can only seek or show to be transparent if there's a transparent process by which they got into office. We must establish that our electoral system is faulty, that our electoral system has allowed people who are not competent enough, who don't have the ability, who don't have the conscience and the love of our people at heart, and have come into power only to serve their own personal interest. Because what is happening in our country today is disheartening. You could find out when General Uba died, or was kidnapped, or was abducted by the terrorists. The next day, the vice president represented the president in Kogi State, where he was dancing Makosa and was dancing and was enjoying himself. There was no feeling, there was no empathy, there was no compassion. We need compassionate leaders. Leaders that believe in the sanctity of life. Leaders that believe that even one single death dent the image of this country. Just one single death in the hand of a terrorist. And you discovered that they are still moving around, even when the president visited Benue. Well, Yawata lost over 200 persons. It was a show of shame to see that there was carnival organized to welcome the president. It was conducted in a hall well decorated as more than this one. We must have presidents. Children were lining up on the street. They brought children from schools. Children that are being kidnapped today, vulnerable children. They were lining up on the street of Makodi. And then, we have enough research, we have enough manpower. I lived in 63 Reference Hospital, Lagos. Okay. I, as an experience, not B2B's experience, where I saw Nigerian soldiers, as much as they were being killed in Liberia.
Our politicians are not trying at all. They are there for their selfish interest. I agree with you 100%.
They were coming back they were still going to try to defeat the terror that was in Cameroon, that was in Liberia and Sierra Leone. Today we have the same challenge at home, and we do not have the necessary political will to defeat this. This is a cancer that we must cut it and amputate it as early as possible.
Okay.
If not, the consequences will be there. Today across the national statistics clearly state that 1 out of every 3 child cannot afford to go to school. Then in the north, it's very high, not where we come from, it's very high. Today you are vulnerable students. Why are the schools easy target? It's because of its vulnerability. Because 1, there are no perimeter fencing. 2, there's no security at all. Even when the CSC church was attacked, at least there was live stream to show what happened. You could say that the federal government has overriding authority over security agencies. The president.
If there was no live stream in that church, we wouldn't have even had a faint idea of how these people create havoc, how they move around. Now, we only saw what happened in Kwara State, Eruku, Kwara State, because it was coincidental, and those guys were not smart enough. They didn't even know that there was a live stream going on. Now, imagine we only saw one live stream stuff like that. And we've seen other stuff like where they stream about their victim, but this was real life, real time. Imagine what is happening that we don't even have any idea of. Imagine they live stream everything. People will be mad.
He's the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. He controls the police. So,
hi, welcome to the show.
Majority of the problem, the responsibility stops on his table. If he knows and he has the capacity and knowledge to defeat this thing, he would have sat down with necessary agencies to draw and calculate how many personnel we have, how many can be used to guide these schools. Because we're drawing the children out of schools, we further reduce the number of school children.
The problem I have is that, you see, everybody can say these things, right? Everybody can promise this thing. And that's why I believe that the first place for the opposition party, because I think most of the people here represented are opposition, is that the party they have right now, they're not even trying to put their parties in order to be able to defeat the ruling party in 2027. And again, that to me, I think is a litmus test. You understand? How are you able to even, go band to band with the power of the day or with the party in charge? We have opposition parties in the Senate, in the House of Rep. We don't see what they're doing there, including Labour Party. In fact, a lot of them in Labour Party have defected already, which is so sad. So no opposition as far as I'm concerned in Nigeria today.
A lot of family might not return them. There will be trauma after this had occurred. So we must be proactive instead of being reactive.
Yeah,
what we are having is reactionary measures where you say, Minister of Defense, you move to Kebbi. What is going to do? Even if you rescue them, what about the trauma for the kids and their family?
What about Niger? What about Kwara?
These terrorists are choosing this spot because of his weakness and because of his ability to create high-level propaganda for them. Their news will go all over the world. It is even is low risk and high reward, knowing fully well that the children will not be able to put up any resistance. Can they ever go into a school that is made up of 400 adult men that there will not be a little bit of crisis? So they know what they are doing. The authority must wake up to their responsibility. And we must challenge the authority to know that the responsibility that has been given to them in the Constitution to protect the life of property, they must take it serious. There's nowhere, no society can flourish economically, politically, if there's no safety of life and property. None, anywhere in the world. And that's why the Constitution did not specify that the government will be elected to build roads, to build schools. No. Yes, it's in chapter 2 of our Constitution. But the primary purpose of governance, which Constitution everywhere in the world has established, is the safety of life and property.
Yeah,
because it is in this safety net,
yeah, they're all the same.
it is this security protection that every other thing can be built upon. Will you travel on Zamfara Road in the daytime without this thing? Will you go on this local Kogi Road without proper this in our Itobe? Families have been kidnapped. So it is when you have this security. In the 90s, we used to wake up with our friends in Abuja and we enter a vehicle and we drive towards Lagos. Today, nobody is going to do it. They're asking you, have you contacted the police? So what level of challenge or what level of country are we building where our people are not safe? How can you expect the suffering? Another part of this country is suffering today because apart from President Trump saying they are coming, let me tell you, every embassy issue what they call advisories. Advisories to their citizens not to go to certain places because of their life will not be safe. Every embassy in this country, you don't just take notice, they are issuing advisories that American citizens should not go to social state. And because of that, they will not invest in these communities. They will not bring their resources to this community. How long will a state survive based on only federal allocation if there are no investors coming in? Even these federal allocations are not properly used. 60% of it are embezzled. We must have a system that will properly take our matter as a serious matter. It is this country we have as of last week at the NJI, National Judicial Institute, where the president was walking in and the judges were singing, "On your mandate we shall stand." Judges, federal judges of this country.
Yeah, that was shameful.
It is this country that they stand as a National Assembly that should be responsible in making laws for good governance and protection of its citizens. Is not taking any action to halt this slide into a state of terror.
Wow.
We must have collected as Nigerians not to look at the interest of our party, or look at the interest of our pocket, or look at the interest of our family members who have been appointed, and decide not to say the truth. Because the more we look, we are going to build a nation where we expect our children to inherit an atmosphere of tranquility and peace from us. If we continue like this, we have a funny system. Because with porous borders, more non-Nigerians will walk into this country and take over the ungoverned spaces because our armed forces are already overstretched. They are fighting wars, fighting insurgents, fighting bandits, fighting all kind of security challenges all over the world, all over the country. So they are already overstretched and their capacity to defeat it is waning down on a daily basis. Except something drastic is done, that resources meant to be able to safeguard this country is not stolen, that people prioritize the welfare of their people, that instead of buying private jets, we put money into security gadgets that can help our people. Security surveillance procedures like security detection, sensor detections. If there was a sensor detector around those schools, maybe 10 meters away, 20 meters away, as this security, terrorists are walking in, it will pick up. And those responsible will know that within that perimeter fence being breached at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., something is wrong. So we can't say we are bereft of idea. We are just not too interested in making the life comfortable for the ordinary Nigerian. We have built an elitist society that only remember the very rich and forget the very poor. Our forgotten men and women, our forgotten children. We must not allow religion to divide us. We must not allow religion to divide us. Neither should we allow ethnicity to divide us. Because at the very critical time, if security becomes more serious, none of us will remember these things. Because it will be now what will matter to us is the safeguard of our own lives. So it is clear that this country deserves quality leadership, either from the councillorship world. We leave councillor out of it because there's no election in that area. It is by appointment by the governors. They have bastardized the local government system in this country. It is the greatest fraud fostered in our democracy. So there's no local government elections. So, but we must now sit in this unit form and form proper pressure group that we're electing as of assembly members that are going to represent us, and we can bring them back. Who can speak for us for the interest of the common man? The National Assembly today.
Again, it's saying that we have to bring pressure group. I don't think pressure group is only the solution. I mean, if you talk about pressure group, you're talking about, you have the obedient movement, you have all this other stuff, you have Showore also. I mean, Showore, I would say, is more of pressure group than political party. Because it doesn't really do well with elections. You need a standard, opposition party election that could work. And that was why when you look at what happened in Anambra State, despite the fact that Peter Obi has a very good will in Anambra, that couldn't transcend to votes. And I cannot get it. Because the problem is that you have the obedient movement doing its own thing, then you have the Labour Party. There's kind of some level of disjointed focus when it comes to those two. So you don't have both of them coming together to forge something. I was complaining that early morning because I was listening to one of their obedient guys, Yunusa now, and everything he was saying in that interview on the day of election was just all about the obedient person, obedient stuff. Meanwhile, when you go to the ballot box, what you're seeing is LP. So again, there are pressure groups. You have already people on Twitter always, talking about the government, always doing a lot of stuff, but there is no foundational structure that can actually work hand in hand to mobilize votes, to get people interested in party politics. And this guy, Maurice Moye, also resigned and started, saying a lot of stuff on Twitter against the obedient movement and its structure. So that's just to start talking about the division of Nigeria. There is no more living together. Oh, okay. All this talk is because of 2027. Yeah, I think they want to actually get power from Tinubu 2027. That's why you see all the people here. You have David Mark. You have all these people that have been politicians before now coming out again. Poor people are suffering, other people are also suffering.
I've abdicated his own responsibility.
Welcome to the show.
And I've taken the responsibility of always speaking for the president. This is a government, an arm of government that should be responsible in calling the president and then monitoring him with the kind of loan he's collecting. We have removed the subsidy. You know how many trillion of naira we're paying for subsidy? People say that removal of subsidies go. As an economist, I can tell you there's nothing wrong in borrowing money. I know that. There's nothing also wrong in removing subsidy. What is wrong is the hasty nature, in very, very harsh nature that it was done. There was no preventive measures to help the Nigerian system in cushioning the effect of the removal. That transportation cost that was 18 naira from Nyanya to Bega increased to 250 naira the day it was removed. So a man earning 100,000 naira, his money became useless. So the government did not follow the removal based on policy and plans.
There are different schools of thought with respect to this subsidy removal. And again, Sanusi Lamido even came out to say that, you know what, well, maybe he should have actually removed it because it was already bad. We're already going for the ills. The country was going bankrupt. We're going to become another Argentina or Venezuela if that wasn't removed. But what I don't understand was the slowness in cushioning some of the effect. Then we saw Tinubu transferring money to an account, of a politician to help cushion the effect, and everything just became messy. Number two, again, salaries of civil servants were not increased on time. That was one of the things, because I expected I immediately remove the subsidy. You have to bump up, civil service salaries to cushion the effect. Then you have the private sector also. They would definitely follow suit. But there was lack of organization, when the thing was removed. Things were so slow. The policies were not even, put in place very early, and that in fact had a very spiral effect on the economy. The good thing is that we're getting out of that economic woes, but the bad thing is that the problem is still being felt by the common man today. People are still suffering, and that's the big thing, right? The rich are getting richer. As you could see, the Nigerian Stock Exchange has been doing quite very well, except of recent, after Trump spoke, that, shares are already coming down. But again, it is what it is.
There was no mitigating measures put in place to help the very vulnerable.
Yeah,
and that's why today, the very poor are continuing to remain poor.
Yeah.
But we will defeat them if we know that our fundamental right is not to sell our vote. That our fundamental right, which is granted to us by the Constitution, is to vote for credible leaders.
Okay.
If we do that, we will save this country from the current challenges that it's facing.
Yeah, credible leaders, but we're seeing David Mark just right behind you. David Mark. Most of these people have been politicians before. Most of these people have been either in APC or PDP before. Exactly. It becomes so Yeah, I don't know. I really, to be honest with you, it's become so very difficult. Very difficult to trust any of these people right now.
Today we have been drawn apart by unnecessary bickering that will not help our country to progress. I tell you that we have qualified men and women that if they sit down today, we will solve these security challenges. But they are not bringing that matter to discuss because they will tell you it is an APC affair. Nigeria affair belongs to Nigeria and it's not a party affair. Because we are all living within this territorial conference called Nigeria. This territory called Nigeria, we are all living in it. Whether you are PDP, Labour Party, ADC, and APC. So we suffer all these consequences together. We go to the same market, we ply the same road, and today, the cost of flying on this country has increased because people know that a lot of people who have flight phobia are no longer having that phobia because it is about safety now. So please, we want to thank the organizers of this program to clearly say that your everlasting commitment is to see democracy work. Don't give up. Don't relent.
I'm going to fast forward.
Be attractive enough to them to be willing to sustain injury like the lady in Lagos and still go back to pulling unit. That is the kind of thing that the opposition needs.
What has been done? Those people that caused the injury, have they been in jail? Have they been put to jail? You want people to get injuries so that they can vote for you. I mean, most of these people that were voted for as LP, those that ran and actually got to the National Assembly running on the back of, the NSAS movement, which later became the Obedient movement, which later became, who got into power, running on, for Peter Obi. What have they done differently in the National Assembly? I'm just saying. Again, I don't know.
Because the opposition does not have any other power. They don't control the state apparatus of authority. They don't control INEC, they don't control police. And they don't control any other thing. What they need is the people. It's the people that determines what happens on election day. And if you tell me that the people are not useless, and they are not useful, and they are not a determining factor, you ask yourself question, why do they load money in trucks to buy vote? So these are critical things that the people, and the only thing that have made election rigging easier in my 20-something years of practicing multi-party democracy and being in the opposition is the fact that people don't participate. Where there's mass participation, we have about something million register of
Nigerians are under the same politician since 1960. I agree with you, though. I agree. I mean, all these people are just crop of old, rescheduled or refurbished, or how do they call it now? They just bring them back. Almost all of them. They've been in the system since 1960.
On our voters register today, imagine if 30 million comes out to vote, or 40 million. It will overwhelm the system. The system has no capacity. Today, look at what terrorists are doing. Nigerian security architecture have no capacity to subdue the people in 179,000 polling units. So it is the people that the opposition have. But how can the people be encouraged enough to say they are willing to give their vote? It will be predicated on the kind of candidate that is put forward to the citizens on what they will make them so encouraged that they needed to save this country from a sliding, from the downward spiral that is going. So it is about the people and the opposition. And you must have in that process a proper, defined strategy to be able to also deploy your resources on the election day, since you are not going to be stealing for public coffers. And I tell you that this government, nothing fears them more. What is happening in all the opposition party, you think it's just happening for nothing? I am telling you, this is the first time I'm seeing that the Supreme Court judgment can be overturned by a state high court. INEC come into existence under Section 133 of the Constitution. That means INEC is a federal executive body. No state court can issue an order against INEC and it will stand. No. The current INEC chairman appointment comes in line with Section 155 of Section 1C. So everything is a federal body. But today you have state courts issuing orders to stop the function, to overrule the Federal High Court, to overrule the Supreme Court. So, and you have a commission that is so deep now in their politics that also will not make you breathe well. But if the people wake up, I am telling you that day and night, these people are not sleeping. If it was wicked group that took over the PDP secretariat, it will not be barricaded. It's barricaded today because the people woke up in their own party and say it's time for us to take our party back. So you will always find state actors acting in the interest of those in power because they want to always work for the interest of their salary. But when the people, please, my last statement, go to America. If you are walking into Capitol Hill, you travel a lot, Mr. Moses, Dr. Moses. If you are walking into Capitol Hill today, you will see people protesting that the carton for Chivita has been reduced by 5 centimeters. They will be protesting for that, people. Okay. If you are walking into Capitol Hill today, you see people protesting that why are we wearing blue shirt today? Why is not green? See, protest is very important to the it's critical to bring the attention of government to face the reality of what the people are confronting, because they are insulated from the crisis you are going through. They are inside the government house, protected by armored vehicles with your money, fly armored jet if they have to. They are.
People can't come out for voting demands. Once votes can't count, also you can lose your life to political thugs and all that. I mean, in the last 2023 election, mostly, I mean, there were a lot of places that they had issues, but they also had, places where people were still able to vote. At the end of the day, I think, I mean, for 2027, I don't even know what's going to happen with all this opposition, ADC, LP, PDP, SDP, I mean, they're all over the place. All over the place. And they're not speaking with a common voice. Everybody wants to be a presidential aspirant. And time is ticking, right? And again, I'm just saying that if you're going to take these people out, what we're seeing is more of these politicians aligning with APC at the center and even abandoning their party that gave them the office in the first place, that gave them that position in the
they
first place.
They have armored security, they have personnel. If 50 people are supposed to guard a governor's house today, they'll say no for proper security, they'll make it 200. So they are insulated from all the things you face.
Yeah, I agree.
In American presidency, cannot go to market with government money. He feed from his salary. But Nigeria, after paying the president, we make budget for his feeding. We make budget for his intentions. We make budget for everything for him. So it doesn't relate with the things of the common man. So it is the common man that has only one authority. And that authority is his voter card. And it's that thumbprint that it goes on election day. If it's done collectively in one direction, these people will be removed.
Yeah, this guy's
Whether
tired.
it is changed by those who are counting it is a secondary thought. Because at the primary level is that vote counts.
Okay.
But their citizens' disengagement from the process of counting vote leads to the criminal malpractice that occur during the theft of such.
Okay, I'm gonna move on. This is
until today.
Okay,
because the result was uploaded.
Okay, let me listen.
If you go to
let me just listen to this last piece before moving on.
Word. When we drink this water here now, we are forgotten. We are moving to another bottle. We will not remember what happened to this bottled water.
Mm-hmm.
Go to your YouTube. Go and watch BBC investigation on the rigging that happened to Peter Obi. You watch the one that happened in Rivers State. The result was manipulated. Obi Akpo. Peter Obi won Rivers State, but it was given to Tinubu. It was BBC report. Premium Times also have it documented. I'm not saying what I do not. Documented. Until today, because the result was uploaded. If you go to IRF, you will see that result there. The result that was announced against him. So it is we must as citizens now start to see, because our vote count and they are going to steal it. We act as the last line of defense for that vote and make sure that it is uploaded on election day. If it's uploaded on election day, then we will now start to use our vote to be able to create a government that will not only work for our people, but a government.
Anambra State election that just happened was uploaded on the same day. So what happened there? What happened? I understand that people wanted to, Abga has Anambra locked down, right? I don't see any other party winning Anambra State. But again, I'm not even talking about LP winning. I'm just saying that a 10,000 vote was quite embarrassing for the Labour Party. And it's not just that they bought votes. It was just that there was no showing at all. It was quite ridiculous, right? It was quite ridiculous. Let's assume they even bought votes and all that. 10,000 for an LP for a party where, the person contesting, although Obi is not on the ballot, but it's been a governor in that state. I'm not just happy with the infrastructure. In Switzerland, everything, okay, I didn't get that. Broad, don't mind them, APC and other parties are just the same thing. Exactly. We need to take action, not just talking, because action speaks louder than voice. Yeah, I don't see actions also coming from the opposition, but again, it is what it is.
Government that will work for all of us. When bad people get into government by rigging the election, they will never serve your interests.
Yeah.
Because that's why you see this manipulation, try to turn political party upside down, try to turn the judiciary upside down, try to turn the multi-party, the electoral system upside down. Because they want to come back by, circumventing the processes and come through the back door again, and then start to make sure they give bad governance. So our vote counts, and you should believe in that voting process. And all of us must vote on election day. Without election, that ballot paper they give to each of you, good roads are on that ballot paper. Education is on that ballot paper. Healthcare is on that ballot paper. Security is on that ballot paper. Okay. If you give it to somebody who have no competence, who have no character, who have no compassion, who have no ability, then at the end of the day, what you will get will be the negative aspect of all these things I have mentioned. To tell you clearly, in my experience on this field, vote count. Don't sell your vote. Thank you.
Okay, well, vote counts. We'll see how that goes. That one is a mandatory sit-at-home protest. This must dry the street every Monday. We've been doing. Okay, let's look at this. Oh, sorry.
Because at this point, I am tired.
Sorry.
I am exhausted, and every drop of hope I had for this country has left my bones, has left my system. I do not know where we're supposed to go from here anymore, because at this point, every single day in this country is another confirmation that we are indeed a finished country. Every single news, every headline, every press release from government officials further confirms that we are finished. We are completely done for. Over a decade, and all we have seen in this country is regression. Over a decade, and nothing has gotten better. Not a single state, not a single sector has gotten better. It's always regression. We are completely regressing at an alarming rate. Nothing is improving. It's bad news after bad news after bad news. Today, right now, doctors are on strike. Universities are about to close indefinitely. On Friday, universities are closing for their own strike indefinitely. People are dying. 25 schoolgirls were kidnapped.
Sorry about that.
Kidnapped. 25 girls were kidnapped. And over 24 hours later, we still have zero information regarding their whereabouts or the people that abducted them. The terrorists that abducted them. We still do not have any information regarding this. A brigadier general was abducted and executed. We have seen countless videos on social media circulating of terrorists filming themselves raining fire on our armed forces and winning. Filming themselves.
Yeah, they now stream the whole thing, right? They now stream the whole thing, and it's just crazy.
Gearing up to go to settlements with bandits. Bandits and peace settlements. While they are doing their peace settlements, there are other communities in that same state, in Katsina State, who have had their own peace settlements with bandits, and the bandits have gone back on that agreement and have attacked those same communities. Because who in their right mind or right sense would ever expect a terrorist, a person who commits atrocities and commits war crimes, to ever stand on his word? And while all of this is happening, we have people on social media engaging in tribal and religious wars.
Becoming rampant.
People are dying, and you are engaging in tribal, low IQ tribal and religious wars. It's so many Muslims on social media denying the persecution of Christians, even though we see the evidence right there in front of us. After seeing all the videos, you're still saying that there is no evidence to support the fact that Christians are getting persecuted in northern Nigeria. Is everybody okay? all you have to do is go to a town in northern Nigeria, go to Kanu State, go to Sokoto, go to even Kaduna and speak to a Christian there, speak to the Christian communities there, hear their stories. That's all you need to do to confirm that there is indeed a persecution of Christians in northern Nigeria. I came across this person on Twitter, right? I think his name is M. Faris or something. And his tweet came up on my came up on my timeline, and it was so incredibly hateful that I was like, okay, let me check and see what this person is all about. And I kid you not, but I scrolled on this man's page for like 3 minutes, and he had nothing but hate and denial of Christian persecution in northern Nigeria. Nobody should walk around with that level of hate for anybody. Nobody should walk around with that level of hate in their heart.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do this specifically for my northern brothers and sisters, right? You can cut this video and share it as much as you want. I'm even going to say it in Hausa. Musulman arewa ba, ba za ku mutu ba in kun gaya gaskiya.
I don't know what that means.
If you come out and say the truth,
welcome.
ba za ku mutu ba. Like, ba za ku mutu ba in kun fito kun gaya gaskiya. Ba wanda zai tashi ya cire ku daga musulunci.
Okay, I'm gonna move on. I don't know what to say.
It's Hausa terrorists, Fulani terrorists that are using our religion to twist it to justify the atrocities they are committing. You have a responsibility as a Muslim. You have a duty as a Muslim to condemn these people and to make sure that you show that this is not what the religion is about. And instead of doing that, you are focusing on denying things that are happening right here in front of our eyes.
Wow.
You have a duty not just to the people of the country, but to the religion itself to condemn these Hausa terrorists and these Fulani terrorists that are using our religion to justify the atrocities they are committing. Your false denial is not helping anyone. If you sit down and you refuse to acknowledge that Anakashi Christians are Arewa, the only thing that you're doing is you're empowering these terrorists to continue what they are doing.
Okay, so basically, yeah, she just wants the kidnapping to stop and all that. In another news, let me just close this, and I think I'm done with this one too. Let me just close that. I don't know. The aftermath of the Nnamdi Kanu issue. Okay, that one is a Mandarin. I don't know what is. Let me see what is over.
I greet everybody. God bless honor. I no fit sleep. I no sleep for the whole night. I beg honor. Today is 22nd of November 2025. Being Saturday. Tomorrow on a Sunday. I beg honor every Igbo person on Monday, being 24th of November, sit at home starts again.
What has the sit at home accomplished? That's my question. I think diplomacy will be the right thing. Sit at home again? I mean, that has been done for God knows how many years now. And it's clearly not working. So if you want people to sit at home again, come Monday, I mean, the question is, to what end? Many people have died in the Southeast on this issue. And these are the people that it was a promise that they will be liberated. So this decision has actually torn so many people apart. Because some in the Southeast are saying that, you know what, my family was impacted. So I think at this point in time, number one, Nnamdi Kanu should appeal. Number two, there should be diplomacy. And those that have been affected negatively, they need to be compensated. It's not as if you can bring the life that has gone back, which is the sad thing. But somebody also needs to listen to their cry. Somebody needs to listen to what they've gone through, the families that have been killed. Again, you don't need to agree with me. You don't need to like me. In fact, I don't even need you to agree with me and like me on that. But nobody should kill any other person in the name of liberation. The agitation can be legit, and at the same time, people can still buy a sense of purpose. When Brexit needed an out from the European Union, there was an high-level lobbying. There was an high-level lobbying happening. And I'm saying that the first point of call is for you guys to also talk to your politicians in the Southeast and let them see reasons why you guys need to be out. I'm not for you I'm not for someone being forced to be in a union against their will. But at the same time, what would the sit-at-home do again? Because we've had multiple sit-at-homes.
Sit-at-home will start on Monday. If you're an Igbo person living in Nigeria all over the world, on Monday, start sit-at-home. Yesterday now, they have taken our leader. They don't carry our leader, go Sokoto. I said it before they even...
And I condemn that. I don't know why they would take him to Sokoto. They shouldn't have taken him to Sokoto. But that's crazy.
The news come out that they carry him go Sokoto. I beg God now, this is the time. The time have come. The time have come. Mpaklaga mozo, munozo gala. Ndị Igbo, agarando pako, onye ire erie. They have transferred all of us. They don't carry all of us go Sokoto prison. And I know what that one mean. They don't carry all of us go Sokoto prison. This is a test. Ndị Igbo, achọrọ m egwu unu. Ugbu ka anyị ga-ete n'ụra. Onye agbala nkịtị, onye aghala nwanne ya. Nnamdi Kanu is our life. Nnamdi Kanu is our future. Nnamdi Kanu is our hope.
Okay.
Ejim Chineke yono niile. I'm begging all of you Ndị Igbo. On Monday, sit at home.
Okay. He wants everybody to sit at home, which is fine. Yeah, I mean, we've done a lot of politics. Let's just move to drama. A lot of other dramas. Regina Daniel had drinks and drugs at this hotel, and we have police evidence. We even blocked the hotel with cars and called me to deploy the commissioner of police to the gate so no one could leave. Senator Nnamdi Woko. What is this? What? I thought the whole drama is over between the two. I mean, this is gossip stuff, real gossip stuff here, and I'm in for it.
Just between the 10th or 11th, 10th, 12th, 13th. This place, I don't know, why do you choose this place, by the way? Is it where you normally meet? Yes, sir. Wow. But do you know that Regina also chose here for you for a birthday? Yes.
I don't know what this meeting is all about.
They took this place for 4 days, and it was 4 days of partying for them. It was 4 days of drinking and smoking and all that goes with it. I can tell you that. Quote me. Okay? Because we have the evidence. You know, as a lawyer, I don't say things that I don't know. I work with evidence. You understand?
Okay.
We have evidence, and since I've got both of you, they say, okay, when you talk to somebody like me, you know you're not talking to a normal person, yes? I'm not a normal person. Don't think I'm normal like you, if you know what I mean. Because I have a level, I have a standard. You understand it? So I don't talk anyhow. The fact that they were here between the 9th that they checked into the 13th or so, and they had drinks and drugs, is documented. Documented. And we have written police statements to that effect. The fact that they also had fights with the owners of this hotel and guests in this hotel is also documented. You were there, even with you. May God bless you. Have I met you before? Please tell them, have I met you before? No. In one of those days, Regina called me and said that he blocked the two gates. And that I should call the police commissioner to make sure that nobody leaves.
I mean, all this family drama is just becoming too much. I thought they've settled the whole issue. I think 2 weeks ago it was trending, but again, it is what it is. I'm not sure I'm going to be listening to 12 minutes of a man ranting and talking about his family affairs to a group of people. But again, it's his family affairs. I mean, whatever it is that makes them happy, it's their own prerogative and all that. Okay, so that being said, yeah, I'll soon be off. I just want to just see what's happening on X. So now that Nnamdi Kanu is in Sokoto, this is one of the, I can't call him his lawyer anymore. I think he's his consultant because he disbanded his team. And let me see what he has to say. Today is an update from Barrister Maxwell in Sokoto State. Oh, let me see what he's saying here.
This is Sokoto. I've been in this town for since 2 days now.
Okay.
Today is the 23rd day of November. I came to see Nnamdi Kanu. I have been with him since yesterday.
Wow.
So we have been discussing. So he's in Sokoto Correctional Center here. And what we are asking now is this. Somebody whose appeal is in Abuja and they're putting him in Sokoto. And if you want to file some processes, would the federal government made a private jet available for him to take him to Abuja. After filing his process, they take him back. So that is another issue that is giving us concern, because the place of jurisdiction where he's going to do his appeal is in Abuja, and it's on record that all the filings that he has been doing it by himself in Court of Appeal Abuja Division. So there are some things that he needed to file there, including affidavit. He cannot do it. Everybody is frustrated. We are handicapped. So we are now looking for the next line of action on what to do. But meanwhile, at least for the first time, at least I have seen him. He's to confirm that he's in a Sokoto prison here. So I will be leaving to Abuja now. Then thereafter, I'll keep you people updated. Thanks and God bless you. Well done.
Okay, so yeah, it's in Abuja already. I want to assure you that the Court of Appeal will definitely set aside the judgment that was predicated on anger and hatred, and Nnamdi Kanu will be set free. I've been having a lot of people coming to say free Nnamdi Kanu. Okay, we'll be watching. We'll be watching closely. Hopefully everything works out well. For Nigeria at the end of the day, or for whatever. This lady is traveling to Zamfara State from Damaturu, and she's telling kidnappers there, abducting me is a bad idea because I don't have any money to give you, and even my family is not ready to send a dime. My mother gave birth to 13 children, and my father can't even count. This is what we're battling. So please, I'm not special. Don't kidnap me.
Public announcement. You see, I'm about traveling from Damaturu to Zamfara. So this is for you all kidnappers out there. I want to tell you beforehand. If you think that you will see me coming, then you want to come and catch me, you want to kidnap me, my dear, I'll be bad markets. Because they don't already use me for money before. So if you use me again, you don't go see anything. Even if you see myself now, fake money you go see. And if you think say you go kidnap me, may they come pay you ransom. May my people come pay you ransom. My dear, they deceive yourself. Because my mama gets 13 children, 6 boys, 7 girls. So you can see I'm not special.
It's that bad that now people are just using this for skit and all of those. That's crazy, right? That's crazy.
My papa don't get plenty children. I know if he count and himself no know all in children. What am I saying? He doesn't know me. So you're wasting your time. I'm a very bad market. So allow me go. You hear? Allow me go. Thank you. Let me tell you that. So you guys.
Wow. That's crazy. If someone tries to kill you and they're gone for, pick it up and shoot them. Shooting them could still land you. Wait, if someone tries to kill you and their gun falls, picking it up and shooting them could still land you in prison. Self-defense only work with reasonable force when your life is genuinely at risk. What is this? I still don't understand this old story about someone that was trying to defend himself and then got, now they're giving him the death sentence. Let me see what this lawyer is saying.
If somebody is trying to kill you with a gun and the gun dabble in his hand and you now pick the gun and shoot the person and the person die, they're going to kill you. Death by hanging, firing squared.
What?
See, the law gives you the right to protect yourself under section 286 and 287 of the penal code. That one is for the north. And section 59 and 60 of the penal code. In to mean you can genuinely you can actually save your life if your life is truly in danger with reasonable force. Even if force ever cause the death any, you can protect yourself. To buy your life was actually in danger.
Okay.
In you have to be very, very careful. Self-defense is not revenge. You are 10 years at John far. Now the Ibona jabo in the hand of that person.
Now the gun falls.
The person has lost the power to hold that Ibon. The Ibon is now in your hand.
Okay.
That person is no longer a threat to you.
Really?
So if you now go ahead and buy the person, it is no longer.
Why did he? I don't know who are those writing the laws in this country. Somebody takes a gun to unalive someone else, and you're saying that the intention is this. I don't know. I don't know what you guys think, because this doesn't make sense to me.
It's self-defense. That is revenge. That is manslaughter.
I mean, that's self-defense. That's not revenge. Because the fact that the gun fell, that means there was a battle, there was a fight, the gun fell, and then the gun was now used. That means there was actually live rounds in the gun. I don't understand.
You now pick the same gun and shoot the person in poker. When I say bad, you not to compound good.
This guy's a comedian. To be honest.
Poker. You have committed murder. You and your partner. Other part will catch you. They will prosecute you. You will not go back to your house in peace.
This guy is nuts.
But in pieces, Section 319 of the Criminal Code will pick you. It will say, drop a see.
Okay, I'm gonna move on here.
Whether you are defending your life or
this is crazy. And again, I don't even understand. So this guy blocked the federal road because he wants to protest. Is this even right? It's wrong. It's wrong.
Now, people you have to act fast now. What they call act fast. And they speak in the voice of thousands of youth, millions of youth that they speak for. People are here to talk to. People are here to talk to. Guide this call. All of them will suffer and die. See, that is the problem with this. Come, just a video affair, video the road. Now one will never make it happen. Now they play. Video affairs. This time for action. Now they call action. And speaking in the voice of thousands of millions of youths. Now they hear me so. The killings, everything. Nothing will good for Nigeria. We are not talking of killings alone. Nothing good for Nigeria. Nothing. Electricity road, everything. Nothing good. Hey.
But this is wrong, though. This is wrong. Why would you block the road?
So like this now, we are very active. We not be sure. This is not time for talking. This is not time for talking. This is time for work. This is time for action. Sinibu, take note.
I mean, what do you think? If there's someone that needs urgent hospital care or emergency care, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, you can protect, but this is crazy. This is really crazy. But it is what it is. So Shora also went to the ACF forum,
which is 100 million. But I want to say just two things. One is that beyond donation, the North is in need of good people and great leaders. One thing we must admit here is that as much as we want to praise ourselves, so many of us have also disappointed the North. That is why the North is suffering today.
Yeah,
and
true.
It breaks my heart that we are here celebrating when 315 girls were adopted from one school. It breaks my heart that people are hurting in this country and we are not doing anything about it.
Yep.
But the North is also my North because I served in Yola, Adamawa State in 1995 to 1996. Nobody knows the North more than I do.
Oh, really?
And I have greeted so many of you, including the policemen who used to put me in jail. All of them retired now. They are there on that side. But I want to say lastly, what Oscar Wilde, a popular poet, once said when he went to New York and he was asked to declare by the customs what he brought to the US. He said, I have nothing to declare but my genius. I'm here donating myself to the North to make the North prosperous in the future. Thank you very much. I'll make another token donation, but in our line of work, we don't announce donation because we don't really have a job. Thank you very much.
Okay, yeah, so that's that about that. Just checking through and all that. That's good. Not like I believe Nnamdi could guess it, but Kanu must engage this man from all sides. He's clueless and should focus more on social media paparazzis and activism. Okay. Yeah, thanks a lot, guys, for watching. I'm gonna go now and possibly come in later today just to do the nightly podcast. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks. If you've not subscribed to the channel, we're growing this community. I would appreciate if you can subscribe. Thanks a lot and have a good one. Have a great week, everybody. Thanks. Bye. Goodbye.
In a place where they told you what to chase, told you how to run the race, every move was on the page, but I didn't like their way. Had to fight and misbehave, had to find a way to change, had to leave to find my way. Caught up in a daydream, I beat my mind up there almost daily. It's how I pass time, no opinions safely. It's how I understand what I want in this place, see. Cause everybody wanna tell you bad things, what could go wrong, what fame brings, but success is a finicky thing, and if you ain't sure, no, it'll never be. I don't wanna let myself down, myself down. I don't wanna let myself down, myself down. I don't have to plan it, I can go change my fate. You won't understand it, all alone, that's okay. People I can't stand them, they don't want me to change. Keep me where I'm standing, and I don't wanna be where I am. And I want something